Welcome to episode 3 of the trading challenge between my two favorite boomers, Bart and Eelco, where they both have started with a $250 starting balance, trading on BitCat, executing their trades with Teal Street, and they are both giving one asset to trade by me every single week, and they can only take one trade a week. Now, there's a big goal that they are both fighting for, because I promised the winner of this trading challenge 2 tickets to a game of FC Barcelona that they can then visit with their kids.
Oh man, Yip, you have no idea how excited we are. I mean, in essence, Eelco is some sort of a friend of mine, but this week that changed completely. We're now competitors and it's a cutthroat battle.
I'm very excited, but as you know, I'm on a holiday, and I know that Bart is going on a holiday, a trip to Berlin next week. Perhaps for the challenge sake, we can put in a trade pause.
Yeah, I think that's totally okay. I think if you are still on a family getaway next week, I obviously don't want to disturb my favorite boomers on their family getaways. So let's agree up on this deal, where next week you don't take a trade for the challenge. When Bart is in Berlin, he agrees upon not taking a trade.
Good day everybody, today is Wednesday, the 16th of April. I was expecting maybe Ethereum to dive deeper into this supply, which is up there. I'm hoping that it's sort of continuing its way up and then break structure again, and then hopefully go for liquidity, which is below here. It is Wednesday still. Let's head over to the chart to see what I'm going to do right now. I will work with a limit order. Okay, so let me go over now to Teal Street to enter my order right here. Mark at a limit. Let's overall take 0.04 ETH with a price of 1 with a stop loss of 166. That's about $1 risk. Boom, there it is. Okay, here I was with my short waiting to get hit. Yeah, basically I was too conservative again. And while Daddy Powell was speaking, the price took a nuke down without being filled, and watching the price go down, which hurts. Yeah, my only hope now is that it retraces to a very low time frame supply area to still take short.
5 minutes later.
What the heck? Let's go for the market here, Teal Street. Yeah, let's drag the stop loss to, let's see. It's definitely not the best trade in the world. Who knows? I can average it out if it goes for the stop losses of the other shorts that are now in the market. And let's just see. I'm off to hockey training. Worst case, I lose €4, dollars.
It's April the 21st, I'm currently at Kane's house and week number 3 has been concluded. Bart obviously took a trade this week on Ethereum. As we know, Eelco was on a family getaway, so didn't get the opportunity to take a trade this week. Bart, how did it go?
It was a very disappointing week. It's not that I didn't have a lot of energy, even more so. Man, I was fully pumped, adrenaline rushing through my veins in the first couple of days. And then I fell into a trap, which I had fallen into already for like 1,000 times. And I, sort of chickened out of a trade. And it was a total disaster afterwards. Really unacceptable week. But yeah, I cannot turn it back. Like I wish I could, like I always do with my own trades. I can sort of pause time. I can, clean the trading journal and act if it didn't happen, but that's not possible right now.
No, we basically are your trading journal right now, Bart. And you know what? It always comes to mind when I hear you speak, just in general, you're always so hard for yourself. Do you know that?
I didn't realize that.
You are extremely... Eelco, what do you feel about that?
Well, he's been brutally honest for himself.
Has he always been like that?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Because I feel like Bart, and that is just my opinion, but also the thing that you have to start realizing yourself is that you are currently on your path to become a profitable trader. And on that path to become a profitable trader, I think you have to screw up 1,000 times, if not more. And you also have to allow yourself to screw up. Because if you take away the fear of screwing up, and I think you have like a slight fear of making mistakes, and if you take away that fear and you finally just start making those mistakes without feeling any pressure and allowing yourself to make those mistakes, I feel like that is probably going to enhance your journey and speed up the process of your journey towards a profitable trader.
You are very kind. And normally, yes.
That's not my goal, Bart. I'm not trying to be kind here. I'm trying to turn you into a profitable
but
trader.
in this case, it really is unacceptable. Luckily, my balance is still in profit.
That's a positive
So
note.
as long as Eelco, that's we don't get far, but okay. First of all, some general observation about Ethereum is shit. Well, it's really a dead man walking. It's like, you know, in a hospital you have these monitors where you see sort of a heartbeat. That is all that it is. Straight.
Honestly, Bart, last week was horrible to trade in general. So, for example, Bitcoin, it made the smallest distance candlestick-wise for the weekly candle it has made over the past 2 years. So, yes, Ethereum is a dead man walking. It could participate in the Walking Dead, I agree, and it's a proper shitcoin. I kind of want to challenge you guys as well, obviously, but the entire market last week was extremely slow and choppy and didn't make any proper moves in general. So if you had a hard time trading, it was also kind of due to the market in general and not just Ethereum.
My approach was to really look at what Bitcoin was doing, but when Bitcoin sort of convincingly took a high or a low, whatever, Ethereum was just trading a little bit in the shadow of Bitcoin, but not.
Let me stop you right there, because you said your trade was unacceptable, and the thing you just said to me and to my system, to what I'm trying to teach you, is unacceptable. Because you said, I'm going to trade Ethereum and I'm going to try and trade Ethereum based off what Bitcoin is doing or what I think Bitcoin is going to do. You should trade every asset completely on itself. So when you try to look for a trade on an altcoin, you try to completely exclude your view on Bitcoin. Yes, you can take Bitcoin a little bit into account to form a bias, but every single chart has its own story. And what you have to try to do is decrypt that story without letting other stories and other charts try to influence your decision making right there.
I remember very well that I was for 2 days looking at the price action. I was anticipating a short, took a nosedive, and then on a lower time frame I thought, okay, damn it, I missed my entry.
We're making progress because I can see certain things that you do well. I can see certain things that you are still struggling with. What I, for example, can see is that you are able pretty well to mark out the liquidity on the chart. Because when I currently look at the Ethereum chart, I can also kind of see that last week we had a lot of liquidity building up beneath this trend line right over here. So we had this low over here that started this impulse, and I think put in this fake break of structure, and therefore there was plenty of liquidity resting right here. Then we had some more lows resting over here and also over here. Now, one of the core rules that you always have to live by as a trader, in my opinion, is that you always, and I mean literally always, want to enter where other people are getting stopped out. If you live by that rule, you are making sure that you do not get trapped like you literally got trapped right over here. Because what you did is that you were entering where other people were getting stopped out, aka beneath this low over here, because there was plenty of liquidity resting, but you, unfortunately for you, you entered in the wrong direction. But if you would have lived by the rule where you tell yourself that no matter what happens to a chart, no matter what trigger you get, you always enter where other people are getting stopped out, then you know, okay, right over here I can enter, but I can only enter longs. Why? Because there's a lot of long positions getting stopped out once we took out the low right over here. Same goes for the opposite direction. You can only enter shorts once shorts get stopped out. I think your problem is that you don't know how to utilize the liquidity that you are able to identify on the chart. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I do see that. Another thing and I observed that the same what happened in the, I think you also took a short, well, you took a short, it quickly took the weekend liquidity at some point. When it acts quickly, or when there's a lot of volatility and things go fast, I still am stuck to my sort of plan that I previously pre-cooked or analyzed. But I do not sort of realize, okay, what happened in the last couple of minutes? Where did price go to? What does that mean for my analysis?
Exactly. As a trader, we always have to react to what the market is providing us with, not anticipate the market. Yes, we can create certain plans and anticipate certain things to happen, but you can't really execute based off your anticipation. You always have to react to what the market is trying to give us. As I said at the beginning, I don't think you need to be this hard on yourself. I think you are making progress, because if I compare the way that you look at charts and the way that you identify liquidity, etc., with a year ago or 1.5 years ago, it's a major difference. And I think from here it's only onwards and upwards. And I do think that you are improving. And I think that next week you're going to take the week off because you're going to visit Berlin with your family. And Eelco is back in business, so it's his week to trade the shitcoin Ethereum. And then a week after, I'm going to provide you guys with a nice altcoin that I think always moves extremely smooth and extremely clean. And I do think, and I do know kinda, that you will do much better on that altcoin than on Ethereum.
Oh, I can already smell Link.
It might be the case. You know that it's either going to be Solana or it's going to be Chainlink. Either one of them two.
Okay. Well, that's for next week. I wish you all the bad of luck you can get, Eelco.
Alright guys, that's another week of the Boomers trading war wrapped up. Eelco is currently sitting at $251.36. Bart is currently sitting at $251.33. So, it's a close call so far. They are both still fighting for 2 tickets to a game of FC Barcelona with one of their kids. And let's see how this is going to continue.